What's going on, y'all? This is Low.
This is Key, and we're low key.
Alright, today's video, we gonna be going in depth just a little bit and talking to you guys about multitasking. Okay, now, a lot of y'all watch YouTube, and quite sure you figured out by now, hopefully, that multitasking is a myth. It's not possible to focus on two things at once. Now it's possible to focus on one thing, stop the focus, and then focus on another thing, but it seems through experience, not even through reading, that success in a thing is built off of momentum, continuous momentum in that particular direction, whether it's through thought or through action. You know, when you stop a thing and then start another thing, you starting from go every time.
Every time.
Never really progressing once you stop. And then you find yourself running in circles and taking longer to achieve or accomplish a thing because you're not specializing in that specific task, you know?
Exactly.
That's like going outside, cutting the grass, got a good flow going, and then you take a break and your body cool down. So you get back out there, you moving a little different. You gotta warm your body back up to get going, to get back in that flow state. The same thing applies all the way across the board. What you got for me?
Yeah, so multitasking, to do two things at one time is to do neither one, because you can't do two things at one time. It's impossible to split your time, split your focus like
100%.
that. You know?
100%.
And I guess studies show that when you try to multitask, you decrease your productivity by 40%. So that means that you're never really focusing on one thing because you're trying to focus.
And you decrease your productivity by 40%.
By 40%. Yep. So it's like you hopping from task to task, you bouncing back from task to task. But when you focus on one particular thing, you make magic. It's just when you split it up and you you convince yourself that you're doing two things at one time, you never give it 100%. And I think we think that that's more efficient. Because we do it all the time. We do it when we working on a report. We do it when we researching. We listen to music at the same time. Another thing, I know I found myself doing it plenty of times with, trying to cook and clean at the same time, or trying to cook and then, just all over the place. It's never going to be 100%.
Something going, if you don't burn the house down, something ain't going to be right, you know?
Something's going to go wrong. So you always want to focus on one thing at a time, because when you multitask, you are not using your time efficiently. Really, you're not. You're running yourself. I know it makes me crazy. Like I get irritated when I'm trying to do several things at one time, and I'm like, well, why are you doing that? Why are you trying to do too many things at one time? Because you think you're trying to convince yourself that you're doing more when you're really not. You're not doing.
Yeah.
You're really not.
It's like, like our brain is so powerful. You could switch thoughts and directions so fast. Because we so used to not knowing what we want anyway. Being swayed by environment and difference of opinion, that we so used to changing direction that it feels like you doing 17 things at once. And really you just pump faking on all of them.
Exactly.
We got to get control of this machine now. The creator has only given us a limited amount of time in this vessel. And this hardware that we got is powerful. you know, but you can't do everything.
True.
You know, and people underestimate what they can do in 365 days, but they'll overestimate what they can do in a week or a day. So they'll cram all of this stuff in, running around. They may get it done at 70% the first 3 days, but then they gassed out.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing gets done. You know?
Exactly.
That's like going in the gym and trying to work every body part to 100% capacity in one workout. That's not the most efficient way to do it.
Nope.
You know, we have to focus on one thing and get it done. Now that's a skill.
It is.
You know, even with the internet and all of this, like, hey, it just seems like the world is so big, you don't know what you want to do. But like the days is going by, you have to choose what you want to do from a day-to-day point of view, from a year, like so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to focus on one thing at a time and focus on that thing until you get that thing done. That's why prioritizing, making a list, consistency is key.
That's real.
Yeah.
It is. That's real. Because if you do it that way, then you'll find your life is much easier than it would be if you're trying to cram everything.
Yeah.
And it only makes you things seem more chaotic and worse than what it really is, because you're not prioritizing. I know sometimes in the beginning it was kind of hard for me to do that, because I just felt like, oh, if I do this and do this and do this and do this and do that.
Especially
like,
for mothers. Like,
it's like, whoa, like, slow down. Like, you are overwhelming yourself. My husband tell me that all the time. Like, you need to calm down, okay? It's all right. And ladies, don't be afraid to ask for help. It's okay. You can't be Superman or Superwoman or super whoever, Wonder Woman, whoever you want to be. It's okay. That's why you have that companionship. You have that other part of you. And a good thing, my husband knows when I'm overwhelmed. So, you know, we got this thing. We're in sync. But for you guys that aren't, you know, that you're not in that, you haven't reached that level, ask for help, please. Don't try to load everything into your day and then ask your mate for help because you're not getting it done. That's why you have to prioritize. You have to stay consistent with a thing, and you have to keep moving.
yeah.
You know, don't get upset because you didn't complete the task. Move it to the next day.
Yeah.
But just love yourself. That's a way of loving yourself. And meditate. You know what I mean? Meditate.
Very important.
You know, that helps you to focus on one particular thing. And then when you focus on what you want, then throughout the day, you can focus on one particular thing because you've already meditated. You've already you started your day the right way.
Yeah, and it's a skill.
Mm-hmm.
If you wasn't really guided up in the right direction, and then even if you was, like, I'm not sure. I know my situation. I know my wife's situation.
Yeah.
Like, it takes time
It
to
does.
focus this powerful machine we got and hone in on one thing at a time. But once we do, we unstoppable.
Yeah.
You know, mind, body, and soul.
Yeah.
You know, so you get up in the morning. The best thing is to already know what you gotta do. Can't stress it enough. I mean, everybody don't do it, but I mean, when you are trying to develop a thing from scratch, your own creative,
Yep.
from your soul, the creator will show you what you have to do to yourself so you can become that in which you want.
It's true.
You can't focus in on it and actually complete that thing if you jumping from side to side, listening to what that person say. Then you multitasking in the way you receive opinions. You know?
Bombs. Yes.
So you can't even apply the proper principle because you don't know how to focus in. It's crazy, man.
Yeah.
And I just made that up, but it's true.
It's real.
Ain't that crazy?
That's
That go with
absolutely
everything in life.
Everything. Everything.
Like multitasking. That just come back down to you really don't know what's the priority. Because if you knew what the priority was, you would line them up. And you'll follow through and knock them down.
Yep.
You know? You got something else for them, baby?
No, that's it, baby.
Anything that they could do to change their situation?
Well, of course I said meditation. Just prioritize your day. It's good to start your prioritize the week. You know, plan your week, plan ahead. That way you know what you're doing the day before. So when
Plan
you get
ahead.
up, you know, you meditate and you start knocking it down one by one. That's a good way.
And if you mess up, you leave it in the past and you get better.
That's right.
Boom, boom, boom.
That's right.
We coming at y'all with heat.
Yep.
Like, comment,
And subscribe.
just low.
This is key.
Well,